Welcome to a very special episode of Ballistic High Speed. We're collabing with Nick, Fat Electrician. He is doing the historical segment on a very interesting historical bit, and we are doing the practical sides.
Yes, so we're going to start out with a standard 7.62 by 39 out of this AK that was provided by one Mr. Brandon Herrera, just to prove that this is in fact a fully functional, untampered with weapon system. And then we are going to delve into one of the most clandestine operations that was ran in the Vietnam War. And Jake with Ordnance Lab is going to help us pull it off so we can see exactly what was going on deep in the jungle. This is going to be a deep dive into Operation Eldest Son.
Welcome back to Ballistic High Speed.
So real quick, why we are even touching this topic of discussion, there was a group in Vietnam. It's called the Military Assistance Command Vietnam Studies and Observations Group, more formally known as macv-sog.
AKA SOG. They selectively chose that name because it sounds innocuous enough that if somebody read it on a sheet of paper, it sounds like a bunch of nerds hanging out in the basement of the Pentagon and not the biggest badasses that America has, waging a shadow war against the NVA.
I'm interested in this because macv-sog kind of went on to birth PSYOP in the military, and I was PSYOP, Psychological Operations. And the effectiveness of it is kind of questioned, but we're not gonna get too deep in that because the Fat Electrician is doing an entire history deep dive into all of that stuff.
One of the many ways that SOG combated the NVA was Operation Eldest Son, where they would track down the NVA, spy on them while they dropped off their weapons caches, intercept the weapons caches, and replace the guns and ammunition with defective guns and defective ammunition.
So you can go check out his funny shenanigans on how he will educate you on what happened here. We are here to show you what happened because it was effective physically.
This was psychologically designed so that when the Viet Cong utilized this faulty ammunition and the faulty guns, they would go into combat, they would get killed because their guns would either blow up in their face or they would jam, and this would harbor distrust between the Viet Cong and the NVA, as well as erode morale.
I'll let Nick handle it from there. We just have, these are standard 7.62 by 39. These aren't the special detonation rounds. So we are just going to watch the cycling of the weapon. We're gonna see what the muzzle exit is supposed to look like in a normal, totally functioning weapon. We're just gonna fire it, prove it works, and then we're gonna blow it up. Allegedly, the bolt carrier group is going to come out of the back of the rifle and into the shooter, where we'll have some gel blocks so we can capture all the shrapnel. Watch, this just blows up the AK. Damn it, Brandon. All right, weapons hot.
High speed ready.
3, 2, 1. So, it appears to be a functional weapon. Weapon's clear. So there we have it. It is good to go, and now we're gonna destroy it.
But this contains a large amount of explosive in here that will go off when the primer gets struck.
And so this is as historically accurate as we can get to what macv-sog was putting in the Viet Cong's weapon system.
Correct. I did not use any special explosive that did not exist during the Vietnam War. I made this as clone correct as I could. Of course, there's somebody in the comments like, you didn't use Russian ammo. Okay.
I can hear it now.
I can hear it now. Dirty old used blocks.
I'm right here.
See, I'm expecting more to go towards the rear. We will put our one bullet shot to the front and the back side of this. Like that.
Time for slow-mo and destruction.
And destruction. This is strapped down in our Ransom International because you're not going to want to be anywhere near this. We've got a handy dandy string. We have a 7.62 by 39, and the P designates that it's the PETN round. So we set up some gel blocks because all of this should pretty well just grenade. So we want to kind of catch some of that. And on the chance that the legend is true, and the bolt carrier group does in fact come out of the rear cover. We've got a nice, kind of a nice juicy watermelon.
Could be juicier.
Could be juicier.
But it is a watermelon.
To see if we can actually send that bolt carrier into it.
Kind of an emulation of somebody's head, but a little less graphic, so.
Thank you to Brandon Herrera for donating an AK to the cause. I know he's pretty excited to see what these do because he's kind of a history guy too.
We've got a myriad of phantoms as usual. We're gonna capture the destruction from several angles, several different frame rates. See if we can make a frag grenade plus a missile. Like, this is gonna be weird.
I know, I hope it's true. That's for our explosives expert. I believe we're ready to have you load it up and pop this thing.
Yeah, let's do this.
Ah, we're going live.
You guys ready?
All right, good. All right.
Weapons hot.
All right, should be good now.
Okay, high speed ready.
That's the dust cover for sure. I get so used to like the big explosions. I was expecting like a boom.
Oh yeah, you can smell it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Okay.
oh yeah, something hit that.
Well, we didn't lose the watermelon.
We didn't lose the watermelon. Spring almost came out.
So the dust cover launched.
Yeah, I saw it come back there. Oh yeah, it's all busted in here.
That's jammed up.
Yeah.
Nice and good.
That's, yeah.
Oh.
There's all the
That's the casing.
casing, and
I don't know if you can see that at all.
it blew the magazine out. It broke the whole safety mechanism.
So this is the bolt carrier group. It just got lodged sideways.
Given that though, I mean, if this was a highly used in the Vietnam War and everything was more broken down, I could totally see how these would eventually start
Yeah.
coming up out of there. And
Because it's one of those things where do it 100 times, it could do it 100 different ways of exploding.
yeah, I mean, that would be a mission success. That would now make you want to reevaluate your ammo supplier, your weapon supplier. The intent wasn't to kill people with it. It was a psychological operations, and that would totally do it.
There's definitely little bits of shrapnel everywhere, but the main piece of shrapnel seems like it maybe went high. Obviously we'll have high speed for that. I also wonder if the bullet came out, and if so, if it was
should
faster
have.
than normal.
It should have, yeah.
Well, dust cover, finally found it about 100 and some feet that way. It's a little mangled, but I mean, if this flew past your head or hit you in the head, I'd probably stop shooting my AK.
If that got you in the eye,
That's why you wear Wiley X. Just kidding, not sponsored. Okay, so this is our wide shot, so we're only gonna get faster from here. Oh, there it went. Oh, wow.
that started moving up quick.
You know, if you had the head a little bit closer, that's going right into your face.
I mean, this is 300 times slower than normal. So imagine that 300 times faster.
Yeah.
It wasn't unheard of for guys to just fire him from the hip. That was coming up into his.
But also, the moment of detonation, there's some good flames in there.
yeah.
We're gonna,
Oh, yeah.
like right there too. We'll get that on the close-up. Oh, it almost came
it
out.
almost did.
It must have caught on some of the other pieces of metal.
I wonder
there.
if instead of the bolt carrier group, if it wasn't the springs that were coming
Yeah.
back in.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're holding that rifle and like trying to draw aim, that's going right in your face.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
That shock wave, that's the initial burst of energy, and then it kind of grows pressure back there as like a secondary almost. Look for the bullet. Did we squib it?
Oh.
Surely that would have came out by now.
No, it should have been out by now.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let's go back. Maybe we missed it right at the beginning.
No.
I think we squibbed it.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if the pressure did some sort of
Warp the
this, and it maybe smashed it into the, I don't know.
I expected the bullet to come out.
Yeah, you can,
Oh, I
you
did
can
too.
see the spring wanting to come out. Wow.
It's like one of those silly hands that you throw at
Yeah.
stuff.
I want to see closer up on those flames in there. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was like a rocket. It's no wonder that flew 100 and some feet away.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was beautiful.
So if the AK is constructed a little bit differently, or maybe there's fatigue in certain areas, you could get totally different results.
Sure,
Just
if
depends
like
on the gun.
rusted up or whatever, or there's some compromise in the receiver.
But also,
Yeah.
your face would normally be much closer than where that watermelon is, so you could potentially get a lot of the explosion, or if the dust cover goes slightly differently, you'd take that to the head.
Hip fire and it's going all up your
Oh,
arms.
yeah.
And so you can definitely see what they were going for. All right.
Well, we captured a little bit of history today.
That is
pretty cool.
So awesome. I love these cameras.
So it was that close to being able to rack it back at you. So yeah, I could totally see it. To steal it from Mythbusters, I would say plausible.
Plausible.
Because it broke the tangs that actually hold it in the groove. So this would have been free to come back.
If we did this repeat the experiment, I'm pretty sure we'd get the bolt to fly back and hit the watermelon.
I would say that with high confidence.
It's just how many AKs do we want to destroy?
I think they fielded like 3,800 some odd of those. So there was almost 4,000 opportunities.
All right, well, thank you for watching. I think this was a good experiment, not necessarily the results we were hoping for in terms of gratuitous violence, but it was raw experimentation.
The movies, sometimes they lie.
Yes.
Obviously, you guys know if we wanted to just destroy the AK, we could just stick some det cord in there. But this was just a look into a little bit of realistic military history. And with the history, go check out the Fat Electrician. He's got the full deep dive going on. Sorry, Brandon, I broke your toy.
I think you'll like it. He's a little bit of a masochist, I feel like.
Yeah, he might hang it up.
Head over to Ordnance Lab if you like explosive stuff. They do a lot of cool stuff over there. Subscribe to them. You're probably already subscribed to Brandon, so I don't think we need to say that. Fat Electrician, head over there as well.
Subscribe to him.
Yep.
If there's other pieces of history like this that you guys would want to see what actually would have happened, drop them in the comments. This doesn't have to be the only one we do. I only picked it because of the relative psyop to macv-sog that was going on there. But if there's other stuff, let us know.
That is a good tie-in, yeah.
I've wanted to do this for a year and a half now.
Oh yeah, like same here. We've always wanted to do like, oh, this is really interesting because like the amount of effort it takes to do that, to disseminate all that ammo and not get caught is impressive.
I am so looking forward to next episode on it. I think that's all we got for him.
Okay, well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Oh, Gallagher.
Why didn't we get that in slow-mo?
I got watermelon in my AK again.